In a revelation that has sent shockwaves throughout South Africa, political analyst and insider Mkhwanazi has come forward with explosive claims about the death of former Minister Nathi Mthethwa, exposing what he calls the real cause behind the tragedy that has gripped the nation for weeks. During a packed press conference earlier today, Mkhwanazi detailed information that starkly contradicts the official reports, leaving the nation stunned and raising serious questions about those in the corridors of power. According to Mkhwanazi, Nathi Mthethwa's death was not the result of natural causes, a sudden illness, or an unfortunate accident as previously reported by mainstream media. Instead, he alleged that the circumstances surrounding Mthethwa's demise were the result of a calculated and orchestrated plot involving individuals within the highest levels of government. What happened to Nathi Mthethwa was preventable, Mkhwanazi said, his tone somber yet piercing. There are forces at work that the public has yet to understand, and it's time the truth is told. Nathi's death was no coincidence, it was planned, and those responsible must be held accountable. Eyewitnesses at the press conference described an atmosphere thick with tension. Cameras flashed as journalists leaned in, scribbling notes frantically, while Mkhwanazi methodically laid out what he described as the hidden timeline leading up to Mthethwa's death. According to him, the former minister had been increasingly concerned about threats to his life in the weeks prior, confiding in a small circle of trusted aides. Yet, much of this information had mysteriously disappeared from official records. We are talking about deliberate obstruction, manipulation of evidence, and the silencing of key witnesses, Mkhwanazi revealed. It was a cover-up in plain sight, and the people need to know. The claims, if proven true, have the potential to ignite a political storm unlike anything the country has seen in recent years. Citizens took to social media almost immediately, expressing outrage, disbelief, and demands for a full investigation. Trending hashtags like #JusticeForMthethwa and #ExposeTheTruth began to circulate within hours of Mkhwanazi's revelations. Political commentators have already started speculating about the possible implications, suggesting that these disclosures could expose corruption, conspiracies, and a network of individuals willing to go to extreme lengths to protect their interests. Mkhwanazi also hinted at possessing concrete evidence linking influential actors to Mthethwa's death. We have documents, communications, and eyewitness testimonies that paint a far darker picture than the public has been led to believe, he said. The evidence cannot be ignored, and the nation deserves answers. While he stopped short of naming all parties involved, he promised that further details would be revealed in an upcoming exposé that will provide irrefutable proof of the conspiracy. Nathi Mthethwa's family, still grappling with the sudden loss of their loved one, has yet to release an official statement. Sources close to the family described them as devastated and speechless after hearing Mkhwanazi's claims, struggling to reconcile these shocking allegations with the grief they have been enduring. Friends and colleagues of Mthethwa expressed disbelief, some admitting privately that they had noticed unusual activity around the former minister's schedule in the days before his death but could not piece together the bigger picture until now. Political analysts warn that the fallout from these revelations could be monumental. Questions are already being raised in Parliament, with opposition leaders demanding a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding Mthethwa's death. Calls for accountability are growing louder, with experts predicting that if these claims are substantiated, it could lead to resignations, arrests, and an unprecedented shake-up in the political establishment. Adding to the tension, Mkhwanazi alleged that prior warnings issued by Mthethwa to his closest allies about potential threats had been systematically ignored, or worse, deliberately suppressed. He tried to protect himself, but the machinery working against him was far more powerful than he imagined, Mkhwanazi said. This is not just about politics, this is about exposing a network willing to silence anyone who stands in their way. As the nation waits with bated breath, the implications of this disclosure continue to unfold. Questions swirl: who were the key players behind the alleged plot? Why was Mthethwa targeted? And most importantly, will the authorities act to uncover the truth, or will the story be buried to protect those in power? For now, Mkhwanazi's revelations have opened a Pandora's box. South Africans are watching closely, debating fervently online, and demanding justice. The coming days are expected to be critical, as journalists, investigators, and citizens alike push for the unveiling of the full story behind one of the most controversial deaths in recent political history. One thing is certain: the nation has been forced to confront a reality far more unsettling than anyone could have imagined, and the shadow of Nathi Mthethwa's death now looms larger than ever. Mkhwanazi's disclosure has not only exposed shocking truths but also reignited a national conversation about accountability, transparency, and the dangers that come when those in power act without scrutiny.